Okay, we're back. Okay. Start. Much better now. An original spot. Okay, so I was in the book of Right, so I was in the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. Sorry, I was in the book of Isaiah, the 6th chapter, and we was working through that. And, wanted to move from the place I was at back to my original spot. Okay, so I prefer it here a little bit better. Everything's a bit cleaner, tighter. It's an environment I know. So, let's get to it. Okay, so the book of Isaiah, the 6th chapter, and the 9th verse. Okay, Isaiah 6 and 9. It reads, and the Most High said, go tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, and perceive not. So the Most High basically put a curse upon the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, okay, because of their desire to follow their own lust, which is what we was reading within the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. Okay, so it says here, make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, okay, and shut up their eyes, and say, see with their eyes, and understand with their ears, and understand and convert and be healed. Okay, and this is the point I was getting at here within the book of Isaiah 6 and 11. It says, then said I, how long? And he answered me, until the cities be laid waste, until the cities be wasted, and without inhabitants, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. Okay, so pretty much Jake wasn't going to, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, the Israelites, whether where they may be scattered, the ones of the 2/3 wasn't going to understand the magnitude of the truth, the prophecies being fulfilled all over the place. They wasn't going to see those things. They wasn't going to perceive those things. They wasn't going to understand those things right up until the time of the destruction taking place. Okay, and that all ties in with the whole rhetoric that I was going at for this particular sermon. That this is basically the vibration that Esau brings forth to the table. Okay, a desire, a wanting to fulfill one's own needs. Okay, a wanting to fulfill one's own agenda. All right, needing, okay, to be your own God. Okay, and that's what you see within all of these different churches, where if the scripture goes as far as saying, this is the mentality of these people. They're like, look, speak unto us smooth things. We don't want to hear the roughness of the scriptures. We don't want to hear about the time of Jacob's trouble. And that's what you're seeing within these different churches like IUIC, ISUPK. They're all about the mirth. They ain't preparing the whole mentality of the people about what the Most High is really coming to see, and what the Lord is coming to find, which is what you're going to be seeing within these scriptures right here. You ain't going to see the Lord saying he's going to come, he's going to have mercy upon the ones that were having mirth and they were partying. No, he's going to come to the meek. Okay? Here it is, you go into where the IUIC, ISUPK, they're calling us the bomb camps and so on and so forth. But you're going to see within the scriptures, that's what the Most High is saying, that's the standard. That's what I want to see when I come upon the earth. Because here it is, you got a power structure set up upon fulfilling your own desires, fulfilling your own will. Okay? Anything that was going to be directly against that, okay, was going to be meekness, humility. That was going to be the end. That was going to be the definition of the people that was going to be against a system like that. And that's Esau: pride, okay, arrogance, okay, self-willed, narcissism. And that's what you see in an individual like Nathaniel 7 and General Yohanan. That's what they're pushing upon the people, and that's what the people are all up into, because they're within this infrastructure, man. Okay, they're within the system of the beast. So in being in the system of the beast, they want a truth, okay, that they can coexist with. They want a truth, a doctrine that's going to be comfortable with them, right? Being within the beast system, man. Whereas we're saying, look, you got to put off the mortal man, and you got to put on the spiritual man. That's what we're saying, okay? So let's go back onto the book of, and the scripture saying here within the book of Isaiah, the 6th chapter, they was going to be like that right up until the Most High was going to lay these cities wasted, man. There was going to be of that mentality, of that ignorant, self-loving mentality, right up until the Most High was going to destroy this kingdom. That's what they were going to perceive. Hold on a minute. You were supposed to be meek. We were supposed to be humble. And the Most High then was going to have mercy upon us. And they ain't of that same mentality, man. Because they are, like the scripture says, they are of their father, the devil, and the lust of their father, Esau. Okay, that's what they was going to do. let's go back onto the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, before I go into the next scriptures that I prepared. So this is back within the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. All right, let's get it up. 2 Peter's. Okay, so come on, play it. Get this precept right quick. Right, there we go. So the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. Oh, that's why. Okay, back in the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, and we was at the 4th verse, it's saying, where is the promise of his coming? Okay, for since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they did from the beginning of the creation. Okay, in other words, nothing's really changing out here. Okay, we're just gonna do what we're gonna be doing, man. Okay, we're just gonna continue in the same way as we did when we was in Egypt. We're gonna continue the same way we did underneath the Babylonians. We're not gonna change our ways. Okay, or you're gonna have it to where they was gonna bring out a doctrine, right, that was mixed within it, or we had a little bit of truth within it. Okay, right, but it was gonna be mixed in within the whole doctrine of being in Babylon. Okay, so they was gonna tell you was Israel. They was gonna tell you about the the basic laws, wearing fringes. Okay, the superficial laws, so you can understand, but the spirituality of all the laws, you was gonna be taught that, because they were still pushing an agenda. Okay, that was gonna be beneficial to Esau. Okay, saying where is the promise of, and that's what these guys are saying. They're calling themselves Israelites, but they're basically saying where is the promise of the Lord's coming? Because if they was into the promise of the Lord's coming, they was gonna be off the same mindset we're in, which is to put off this, to put off this world, man. Okay, you're supposed to be pushing off everything that's everything of this world. You're supposed to be saying, look, man, I ain't down with that, man. I ain't down with that, because being down with the world, or as the book of what does it say within the book of 2 John 1:6, being down with the world was gonna be meaning you wasn't down with the Most High. Okay, because all that's in the world, covetousness, right, lust, okay, adultery, that's all things against the Most High. Okay, but ultimately, because all of those things stem off of this one idea of being and fulfilling your own desires, you was really gonna be against the agenda of Yahweh Hashem outside, man. Okay, so let's go on to the next scripture that I had prepared, and this is the book of Psalms, within the book of Psalms, the 37th chapter, and then going to some of the other precepts that I have prepared from aforetime. Okay, so this is the book of Psalms, Psalms 37. Okay, Psalms 37:1. All right, and this is dealing with the characteristics of how the men of the Lord was gonna be. But we're gonna go back and forth within these different scriptures and the precepts associated to it. Okay, to get a bigger, much clearer picture, all right, of what's going on the grand scheme out here. Okay, so this is the book of Psalms the 37th chapter on the 1st verse. It says, "Fret not thyself because of evil doers, neither be thou envious of the workers of iniquity." Okay, so let's expound upon what that scripture is basically saying. So when you're seeing Esau prospering in his so-called wickedness, and how that it seems that the Most High is having it to where Esau's rulership is lasting for the length of time that it has done. When the Most High is look, he's saying, look, the scripture saying you ain't supposed to be envious of his works, man. Okay, you ain't supposed to be envious of the workings of iniquities. Now that goes as far as into certain individuals that have made a pact with Esau, and they've gotten certain riches by way of iniquity. Okay, you ain't supposed to be envious of those workers, because at the end of that man, okay, was going to be destruction. Right, so you got it to where you got different individuals out there, whether they may call themselves Israelites, or they might call themselves Negroes, or they might call themselves blacks, Hispanics, whatever. They have made certain deals with Esau, that have made certain deals with the deceiver, right, based upon fulfilling their own agenda and not fulfilling the agenda of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, they have made certain decisions that was going to benefit themselves within this lifestyle. But see, in knowing that the Most High was going to bring upon all of these destruction upon the world, and that was spoken about within the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. In knowing that the Lord was going to do all of these works, okay, and that he was going to re-establish a righteous kingdom, but in re-establishing a righteous kingdom, he was going to destroy the wicked kingdom that was existing. Then anything that he was going to gain within this world was going to be destroyed anyway. Okay, so your mindset is going to be like, oh, well, hold on a minute, right? If all of these workers of iniquities have gained all of this wealth, well, hold on a minute, they're going to lose all of that wealth. And more so, the world that's going to be established, you was going to gain that by losing what you have already on this side. So you're either a 2-time losers or you're a 1-time loser, and the Most High was going to hold you in a high esteem when you get onto the other side of the kingdom. Okay, so let's go into this, and that's spoken about within the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, where it was saying, look, we held his life with no retribute, man. We thought that was a low level individual, and here it is. The Most High was going to have mercy upon upon basically the bumps, man. Okay, the offscouring. Okay, 2 Peter the 3rd chapter, and I'm gonna go to the 12th verse. It says, looking for and hasting unto the coming day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with a fervent heat. So that's what's going to come upon this whole world. Okay, so you got certain individuals out there, okay, that have made deals with Esau, okay, that have gone about the way of wickedness. They've gained the world, but they're going to lose everything that they have, and they're gonna have everlasting contempt. Now you got the polar opposite of that. Right, you got individuals that they've given up everything for Yahweh Shem Shai, the so-called dainty things of this world, right, for a more incorruptible crown, and in so losing the world, the scripture says that what he that loses his life for my sake was gonna gain his life. Okay, so you're gonna lose it.
You're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose it for it.
That's right. Okay, you guys gonna have it to where that you gonna lose your life for this on this side for Yahweh Shem Shai. And when the Most High was going to manifest himself, when the Son of the Most High was going to come upon the earth, all right, and establish his throne upon the upon the earth, then you was going to have it to where those people that have lost their lives was going to gain their lives because the Lord's kingdom was established. Okay, to put it plainly, if you're following a certain mercenary, you're not going to be living. You're not going to be thinking about mirth until that certain mercenary has established whatever agenda he was trying to establish. Okay, and we're the soldiers of Yahweh Shem Shai. So until that general is established, you ain't gonna be in a state of mirth. You're just gonna be, look, whatever my life was before that, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about the agenda, fulfilling the agenda that this particular general has told me to do, whether it be holding campsite, whether it may be reading the scriptures, whether it may be going out there and you're teaching, doing videos. That's the portion. That's the penny that the general is giving you. And when that general presents himself, he's gonna be saying, "Look, where is the return that for the penny that I've given you?" And if you ain't gonna be able to provide, well, guess what? You're gonna be done away with, man. Okay. So 2 Peter the 3rd chapter, the 12th verse says, "Looking for and hastening unto the coming day of Yahweh Shem Shai, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with a fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heaven and a new earth." And does that mean to say that the earth is going to be destroyed? Because that's the contrary. The whole entire earth was going to be destroyed, and we was going to have to build an entire new earth right down to the core. Well, that means to say that would be contrary to that would be contradictory to what the scripture says, where the scripture says that the foundations of the earth standing forever. Okay, what's being said here is that the power structure that's here, okay, the way of living that's here was going to be destroyed. Okay, so your so-called banking system, that was going to be destroyed. Your so-called military, the Most High ain't going to need no Esau's military in the kingdom of heaven, so that's going to be done away with. Okay, the very existence of Esau, that's going to be done away with. And that's spoken about within the book of Matthew, the 13th chapter. Obadiah tells you about that. Isaiah, the 14th chapter, tells you about that. But still, you got certain individuals out there, okay, right, that are saying that what? That are saying that, look, pretty much Esau's gonna make it. Okay, that's what they're saying. They're saying Esau's gonna make it, but see, Esau ain't gonna make it. Okay, Esau's gonna be completely and utterly wiped off the face of the earth. He is the cancer that's on the earth that's pushing people towards their death, man. Okay, and here it is, they're talking about this problem, that problem, and you're gonna stop eating this because that's gonna cause you that. You're gonna stop smoking. Look, the whole problem upon the face of the earth, and the reason why people are dying off a mass rate is because you got a power structure that's against the scriptures, man. The person that's in power is evil, so you can understand. Okay, right? Evil. All right. Second Peter is the 3rd chapter and the 13th verse. It says, "Nevertheless, we, according to His promise, look for a new heaven and a new earth." Okay, wherein dwelleth righteousness. So that's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to walking down the street, and you ain't gonna worry about leaving your door open. That's a infrastructure wherein dwelleth righteousness, because the scripture says, "Thou shalt not steal." And here it is. You're looking for a place, a kingdom. We're looking for a place where you can put your money in a quote unquote bank or in a safe, okay? And you ain't gonna have it to where some bank is gonna come up in there and sell you debt instead of giving you back your wealth, okay? And that's what we're looking forward to, man. We're in a place where dwelleth righteousness, man. You ain't gonna worry about a man sleeping with your woman, which is adultery. Okay, you ain't gonna worry about a man coveting your goods to the point of killing you, which is where you go out there within them Negro, Hispanic, and Native American neighborhoods, man. And that's because you got into where wickedness is being pushed forth. And because you got into where the ruler, okay, his express intent is against Yahweh Shimi outside, he pushes agenda into the Negro, Hispanic, and Native American neighborhood to kill themselves, because that's going to be directly beneficial to what he wants, which is the destruction of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and the establishment, a perpetual establishment of his kingdom, of his throne, of his dominion. And the Most High ain't dealing with that. Okay? That's why the scripture says the soul that is within him is not upright, man. It's not upright. Okay, so let's go back onto the book of Psalms, the 37th chapter, and this is the 2nd verse. It says, "For they shall be soon cut down, okay, like the grass, and they and wither as the green herb." So you got it to where Esau's out there, he's doing his thing. Okay, he's trying to establish his so-called new world order. You got it to where you got certain geezers out there like Jay-Z, Beyonce, and right on down to the vermin within the Israelites camps like Nates and your Nates and your General Yohanas that have sold out this truth, okay, for some money that they might prosper for a little bit. But look, they was gonna wither away like the green herb that the scripture saying right here. Okay, so let's see that again within it was a scripture I was thinking of. I seen the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk. Okay, so let's go to the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. I believe it's within the book of Habakkuk. I may be wrong. Boom. So Habakkuk 2:1, it says, "I will stand up on my watch." That's the men of the Lord right there. We're standing up on our watch, telling the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, really the whole world, the way you're going about, well, destruction is imminent. Okay, we've gone beyond rebuke. We've gone beyond reproof. Okay, except that you be of the elect. We've gone beyond all of those things. So what's left is what? What's left is judgment. Okay, so if you're not of the elect, well, you're gonna receive judgment. If you're of the house of Esau, you're just gonna receive judgment. Okay, if they're of these different nations out here, you're just gonna receive the judgment according to your works, man. Okay, so it says there, Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, and that's what we're proclaiming out to the world out here. We're shaking the hand. Okay, you say no. Okay, all right, you ain't gonna be living fat like this forever, mate. Okay. You're gonna be receiving the judgment for all the wickedness that you've been doing, okay? And the Most High is coming back pretty soon. That's what we're saying out here. That's what the scripture says. We're standing up on our watch, man. Okay, so it says here, "I will stand up on my watch. I'll set me up on the tower and watch to see what He'll say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved." Okay, and the Lord answered me and said, "Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right? For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come." And that's what's being said out here within the book of Psalms, the 37th chapter. How that what? And the 2nd verse says, "They shall soon be cut down, like the grass, and wither as the green herb." So it might seem like Esau's never. It might seem like it's tiring. But the Lord saying, "Look, it's definitive. Okay, his judgment is set forth from the foundations of the earth. Before he even came into existence, Esau's whole scheming and plotting, the Most High written it, man. Okay, now he's coming into life and he's like, look, I'm gonna go against the grain of what Yahweh Hashem Yahweh has set me forth. And Esau trying to avert his judgment, he's further solidifying it. Okay, which goes to show you the dramatic irony that the Most High has played forth into this whole algorithm, man. All right, so it says, so let's go back to the book of Psalms, the 37th chapter. We'll go Psalms 37th chapter. Yeah, Psalms 37 says, "Trust in the Lord and do good, so thou shalt dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be saved." And ultimately, that's dealing with when we was still underneath the old covenant, okay, which we broke by way of going off on the Lord's statutes, commandments of the Most High. Just give you a backstory, okay, where it was said that if we was going to do right by the covenant that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh has set forth, then guess what? You was gonna have a perpetually glorious nation in Israel. Okay, we was gonna be doing good, man. It's gonna be balling. Okay, but what happened was, by way of these different nations, by way of them Canaanite philosophies that these different nations pushed upon us. You can read about that within the book of Numbers and all that. You had it to where Jake pretty much was seduced into the ways of the ways of wickedness. Okay, they went out there, started worshiping Baal. Okay, so on and so forth. So we didn't dwell in the land anymore. But now you're seeing the Most High having it to where what? The word is being magnified. His name is being magnified. The word is being magnified. Okay, his express intent is being magnified. Okay, all right. His prophecies coming to pass. That's being manifested before the whole world. We're not just saying that the Most High exists. We're saying the Most High is doing this, that, and the third, and this is what He ripped forth 2,000 years ago. And for a lot of our people, they just ain't gonna comprehend that. They can't see that because they within themselves, unless the Most High is serving their agenda, the Most High doesn't exist. Okay, but when you read the